Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals, but let me get a sip of my water first. Get my beautiful radio voice going and let's talk about this. Let's check the forearm. Forearms are okay today. All right, let's get into the topic. Let's talk about lifting over 40. This is something I see a ton of online. I see it all the time. I see people in groups. I see people who make videos on it, and I see all this nonsense about, well, once you're over 40, you can't lift heavy. And I want people to understand that heavy is a relative term. And believe me, at 47, I am fully aware of the differences between being younger and training now versus then. It is not the same ballgame, right? I mean, we've even seen people come in who do know a little about training, who even like Alexander Leonidas came in and did say, look, our differences aside, he's like, I mean, I got to give you props for doing this still at your age. That's pretty impressive. So again, even other people acknowledge that. But here's the thing, what I'm trying to tell people. It seems impressive to people because they don't know how to do it. They're hung up on the wrong things and they don't understand training longevity. This is my wheelhouse of keeping people jacked and strong as they get older. This is really an area I'm specializing in more and more even as a coach. So when it comes to these things, I'm telling people you can lift heavy. You can lift really, really heavy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with even hitting maxes. There's nothing wrong with doing some powerlifting meets. There's nothing wrong with doing some heavy sets, working in heavy 5, 6, 8 rep sets regularly every single workout. I do it all the time. And I go pretty intense. You guys have watched me doing heavy sets to failure, with big weights on big exercises. Okay, but we do everything safe. Here's the difference between being older. You can go heavy just fine. You cannot afford to ego lift, and that's the difference. And I think people confuse these things, right? They confuse ego lifting with lifting heavy. Just because you have 500 pounds on the bar doesn't mean that it's ego lifting. It's heavy. And people can talk about relative, but look, I don't care how strong you are on any lift. 500 pounds is still heavy, right? Even if you can do 12 reps with it on a deadlift or a squat, it's still heavy. And we feel that weight. No matter what, you feel 500 pounds. It never truly feels light, even for one rep when you can do it 10 times. So we can go heavy, but heavy with good form, heavy with proper safeties in place, because what happens, we are more prone to tendon problems. Okay, we are more prone to joint problems if we mess up and hurt ourselves. But lifting heavy is perfectly safe, as long as you follow basic safety protocols. And what do those protocols include? Using proper safety arms or spotters or both, depending on what you have available, right? Always setting stuff up to where you have safeties to catch stuff. Always have a plan for if you fail a rep. That is the important thing. Know exactly what you're going to do ahead of time. That also means training calm enough and quit being like these kids and psyching yourself up and screaming and slapping yourself and needing Slayer blaring. Because I'm going to assume if you're over 40 and you train hard, you very well might listen to Slayer. I'm going to say it's probably up there on the list. Younger guys who don't know who that is, they were one of the most famous, really serious speed and thrash metal bands of the 80s. Probably by many considered to be the most popular band in that genre at that time. Okay. I know that was a long time ago. And this old guy talking about Slayer on here. Yeah, F you. So, you got to turn that down a notch. Bring that down a notch. Train hard, but stay focused. You need to be focused on every rep. Rep quality when you go heavy. Rep quality, quit ego lifting. Don't bounce the bar off your chest on the bench, because it's not lifting heavy that's hurting you, right? You didn't tear your pec, you didn't damage your shoulder because you benched heavy. You did it probably because you bounced the weight off your chest like a trampoline instead of bringing it down under control, pausing it for a 1 count, and then pressing, right? Bring it down, pause, press. Not even worse on an incline. Ooh. Whoo, talk about Snap City. Bouncing it off your chest on an incline. Ooh. With that deeper stretch. Yeah. It's not because you're lifting heavy. You do that silly stuff with 225 and you might snap something. Right? 225 is not a heavy weight. Meaning, it might be you could do that on a 10 or 12 reps. So these same things that get you hurt with heavy weight can hurt you with moderate weights too. So just because you're only doing 10 plus reps doesn't mean the same nonsense won't hurt you. Swinging too much, cheating on your laying back when you cheat on a curl. Ooh, laying back on the preacher bench. Right? And then laying back to try to get Snap City. This nonsense is what's getting people hurt. Not proper lifting. Doing some heavy 5 to 8 rep sets or work sets, even if they're to failure or right at failure, even some rest, pause, whatever you need to do. That is not where the injuries are happening. It's the bad form. It's the cheat rows, the bouncing on the bench, bouncing at the bottom of deadlifts on the floor. Okay. Half squats. I say that. So people get mad when I bring that up. How dare you say half squat? I think half squats are dangerous. I think they hurt your knees. My opinion. Says me. Do I have scientific evidence to confirm this? No. But in my observation, my experience, and looking at the human body, I think it's dangerous. Go down to parallel or lower on your squats. Your knees will feel better, but that's the point. Getting into deep stretches on your exercises, on your heavy exercises, using good form, this is how you avoid getting hurt. There's no reason you older guys can't be benching 315, squatting 400, pulling 500, all for reps without getting hurt. Just because you're 40 or 50 does not prevent you from doing that. What does get us problems is ego lifting, and our problems is excessive volume. And that is something that I've heard Ripto say, and it's something I've observed. And I'm not saying I agree with everything Ripto says, particularly anything related to nutrition, my God, run. But in terms of even training, he's pointed the same thing out. Older lifters don't handle really high volumes as well. And that's another thing we come to, is the overuse. I think you need more moderate volumes as you get older, right? I think you need more moderate volumes. My opinion. Says me, but also says a lot of other coaches like that. So there's nothing to be afraid of with lifting heavy. There's no cutoff. It's not a, hey, you're 40, you can't lift heavy anymore. That's ridiculous. And the risks are the same risk as if you're younger. It's just that they can be exacerbated. But those risks can be removed by simply lifting correctly with good programming. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.